is Honors Algebra 2 Pre-Calculus. We're doing section 1.2 in Algebra 2. All right, so we are doing example 2, which is on page 15. We are asked to write the equation in slope-intercept form and then graph. They worded it slightly differently in the book, but that's easy enough. And then we're going to do a P2 that's like E2. So the only thing that's making this not slope-intercept form is that I need to add the 2x to the other side. So I'm going to get that this is y equals 2x plus 3, which means my m is 2 and my b is 3. So the slope is a 2, which is really a 2 on top of a 1, because that's how fractions work. So I'm going to go up 2 and right 1. My start value is going to be b equals 3 on the y-axis. So if I graph this, cool, close enough, doesn't have to be pretty. I start at 3 on the y-axis. I'm going to go up 2, right 1. And I can keep doing that if you want. Like if you keep going up 2, right 1, you're going to get more points on the same line, but there's my line. What I don't love is that the book didn't bother to make you actually have to divide by anything here, but we can deal with that in another example. Sometimes I feel like the book throws you some sort of softball questions. So we'll probably do like an example 2b in a minute, but let's go ahead and walk through P2. So if you want to try P2 by yourself, you can pause now, and if not, you can watch me do it, whatever works for you. So the only thing making P2 not be in slope-intercept form is that this 2x is on the wrong side. So I'm going to subtract it to the other side, and I'm going to get negative 2x plus 3. So here, my slope is a negative 2, and my y-intercept is still a 3. So what's worth noting about the slope is you can either make that a negative 2 over 1, which would mean go down 2, right 1, or if you like, you could make it a 2 on top of a negative 1, which means go up 2 and left 1. It doesn't matter which one you pick. I'm going to show you that it won't matter at all. Either way, I'm starting at 3 on the y-axis because that's my y-intercept. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's not going to matter whether you do down and right or up and left, and I'll show you why. So if you start here on the y-axis at 3, right, that's my start, I can either go down to right 1, which would be right here, and that would make the line go like this, or I could have gone up to left 1, and what I want you to notice is it's the same line. Now, admittedly, I'm not great at drawing linear graphs, and you don't have to be either, but it wouldn't matter which of those two options you picked, you'd be able to graph it just fine either way. Again, I'm not going to really bother you about graphing a ton by hand because it's not a realistic skill that you need as a human most of the time. So make a best effort, and that's okay. So rather than jumping to example 3, because I'm slightly dissatisfied that the book didn't make you actually solve anything, let's graph something. Let's do the exact same instructions, right? But we're going to say, hey, it's not on page 15 because I'm going to give you a slightly different equation. So we're going to do the same skill. So let's call this E2B, and we'll call it P2B because I want you to try one that's slightly harder. So same exact skill set, except we're going to do something akin to, let's do 3x plus 4y equals 8, and let's do 2x minus 3y equals, I don't know, let's say 9. Great. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and walk through these. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to write this in slope-intercept form, and then we're going to graph it. Okay, so first thing so in order to write in slope-intercept, I need to solve for y. So I'm going to solve for y by subtracting the 3x over. And if you don't need this step where you write that, that's great. If you do need it, also great. I'm cool with it. So I get 4y equals negative 3x plus 8. And then I'm going to divide everybody by 4. So I get y equals negative 3/4, which is going to be my slope, times x, plus 2. So my b is 2. That's where I'm going to start on the y-axis. And then my slope is negative 3/4. So again, with a negative slope, you can do that in a couple different ways. You can either do down 3, right 4, or you could go up 3 and left 4. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what this looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm starting up here at 2 on the y-axis, right? That's my start. And then I'm going to go down and right. But again, you could either go down 3, right 4, or you could do up 3, left 4. It doesn't matter which of the two you make negative. So I'm going to go down 3. So 1, 2, 3. And then we're at 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my spot. If you'd gone the other direction, right, it would have looked like this. Up 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. It would have been here. See how they all make the same line? It doesn't matter which one you pick. I just picked this one, but it doesn't matter. They'd all make the same line, right? So there's my line, right? Now, if you want to try P2B by yourself, sorry, sometimes the computer goes to sleep on me. If you want to try P2B without me for a sec, that's totally fine. If you want to watch me do it, that's also fine. So same situation, I'm going to subtract this 2x over, so I'm going to get negative 3y equals negative 2x plus 9, and then I'm going to divide everybody by a negative 3. So I'm going to get y equals a positive 2/3 x minus 3. So that means that my start is negative 3, and I'm going to go up 2 and write 3. Now, if you kept them as a negative 2 over negative 3, you would have gone down and left, and that's the same answer. It's fine. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. Okay, so I'm going to start down here at negative 3 on my y-axis, and I'm going to go up 2, 1, 2, right, 1, 2, 3 to here, and that's going to be my line. Now, I do want to show you yet again, if instead you had considered this down and left, if you'd gone down 2, 1, 2, and left 1, 2, 3, you'll notice you also get a point on the same line, so it doesn't matter which of the two you consider. Cool. All right. I technically am supposed to move on to example 3, but I'm going to throw you one more challenge problem. So I'm not actually going to do you an example of this one, but we're going to do the same thing. So we'll call this P2C. I'm going to give you the same exact task, right? Same exact task, but with a slight bit more challenge. So let's do 5x minus 4y equals 10. Okay, so what's challenging about this is you're not going to get a whole number as your y-intercept, and that's going to make you feel super uncomfortable, which is fine, but it's a thing that realistically we don't feel great when we get a fraction or a decimal. So give this a try. So pause me to give it a try if you want, and then I'm going to go ahead and walk through it right now. Okay, so same task. I'm going to go ahead and subtract the 5x over, so I get negative 4y equals negative 5x plus 10. And everything's going fine until suddenly when I divide my 10 divided by negative 4, it's not a nice happy number. So I'm going to get y equals 5/4 x plus, you can either make this a 5/2, or if you like decimals better, you can make it a 2.5. So what I want you to notice is that your b is either a 5/2 or a 2.5. It doesn't change anything drastically, but it's going to make you feel slightly uncomfortable. My slope is 5/4, so I'm going to go up 5 and right 4. So here's what this is going to look like. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. I need a little bit more on my y-axis. I think I didn't give myself enough room, but we're going to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'm going to start at 2.5, right? I can still go up 5. It's just that I'm at the halfway mark here. So up 1 would be this halfway mark. Up 2, up 3, up 4, up 5. See, that's why I said I didn't give myself enough space. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's where I'm going, right? So what I want you to notice is it's not a big deal that my y-intercept is at 2.5, but I think it makes a lot of us feel uncomfortable. So hence me throwing out a P2C for you. Cool. All right, I'll do the other stuff in the next video.